How's it going, everybody? Welcome to our YouTube channel. Your host here from Western Technical College, Victor Sanchez, a recruitment specialist. And right now, we feel the opportunity to provide you with a lot of information, especially for our community, for our students, alumni, and everybody else interested in important topics that have been developing because of this COVID-19 or the coronavirus. And of course, we're all following the the ordinances of our city, right? We're working from home, staying at home, but still producing and trying to help you a lot. Today, what we're going to be talking about is basically information that we have been receiving from our students, from the community, when it comes to financial aid, which is a very, very important topic. We have put together a series of questions that you, our students, our community, have been asking us. And we have two very important individuals here that are part of the Western Tech organization that are going to be joining us here shortly and are going to be providing us with answers to those questions. So please stick around so that way, you can find out if any of these questions apply to you. First and foremost, let me introduce you to our Student Financial Services Director, Ms. Danielle Picchi, and she should be joining us here shortly. Danielle, how are you today?
I'm well, Victor. How are you today?
Awesome. Just trying to keep ourselves safe and following the ordinances. I know it's a little bit crazy. How you been?
I'm well, Victor. Just at home, trying to stay safe, trying to stay well, trying to get acclimated to our new virtual working environment,
Right.
And connecting, with our students and of course with our staff. And of course, on a personal level, sharing workspace with a third grader and trying to, of course, coordinate time to get my work done as well as help him with being now a facilitator for school, for helping him finish out the school year. So it's been an interesting couple of weeks, but thank you that everyone's doing well and we're getting acclimated well.
Absolutely. You have nailed it. It has been a change for everybody. And I think it gives us the opportunity to reconnect in our society also, reconnect with our students, with our community, and learn more technology as never before. I mean, we have been thrown into this, and I think we're trying to do as much as we can with what we have right now. And talking about that, Danielle, I mean, I know you as the Director of Financial Aid, and you have been receiving a lot of questions from the community, from individuals that are part of our organization, and also from our students. And we have put together a series of questions so that way you could probably help us, answer them, so that way our students can know more about it here in our YouTube channel. Shall we start?
Yes.
All right. So we have the first one. It's a very interesting question. It says, what if my campus has closed due to coronavirus? Will I be able to finish the term and keep my federal student aid?
Victor, that's a very good question. And a lot of institutions, across the country are receiving that same question. And currently right now, as many as you know, WTC, we have an online platform that was already set up, okay? So, currently right now, our students are continuing to take instruction and training online. Like I said, we had that online curriculum platform already set in place. So it was a smoother transition for us as maybe opposed to other institutions that didn't have that, to move all our students directly online. So our students are able to still currently, do their coursework online, participate participate in those discussion questions online, work on those labs online, and continue to get that instruction. So, it was just a small blip in the road, but now, everyone getting acclimated to being fully online is, spending a couple of days at the campus, brick and mortar, but now they're totally online. But, I believe Western Tech was really prepared, and we have that online platform already set in place. I know our program directors, our campus president, and our faculty worked tirelessly and worked very hard to make sure that all the students' needs are being met as far as equipment goes, internet access, whatever they needed to continue their instruction online. And with that, we're able to continue on with our term like nothing happened really. We were able to continue that instruction. So with that, that has not affected any of our current students' financial aid at this point. We've already started the term. We're ready to go, and we're still chugging on like if it was business as usual for us.
All right, so that's very good to know, because I know there's a lot of students wondering about it. Second question, it says, if my campus is closed or only offering online instruction, will I still get paid for the hours I am unable to work from my federal work study? Good question.
Yeah, that's a great question. And WTC, we have quite a bit of work studies currently, and I'm sure a lot of institutions across the country have work studies. And we know a lot of our work studies work either at the school or they work at community service spots where, they may not be able to do their community service because of the mandate to stay home, stay safe, and their work site is closed, and we understand that. So here at WTC, we are pressing to still go ahead and pay those wages for those students that were scheduled to work that cannot. But please be advised that we do have a couple of our work study students, a few of them, who are working from home, and they're still able to work and meet their hours. And so we're able to still accommodate them that way. Of course, for those that don't have work study, this wouldn't be applicable to them, but, we're always looking to take care of our students. And we know that federal work study is a very essential part of financial means for our students. And so we want to do all that we can to continue to make sure that our federal work studies are still being able to meet some of their financial obligations and still be able to get paid, during this, pandemic, and, trying to make life easier for them as much as possible. So if you're not at your work study site, it's okay. We're still working to get you paid. And for our work studies that are working at home, we thank you for trucking on with us and getting that work done, and we're seeing the results. Thank you very much.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, it's important to know that, like anybody else that is able to work from home, they're also be able to do that and help us and continue with the job. So great to know. Another question that's popping up, it's if my school moves classes online, and I think this is very important for Western Tech as well. If my school moves classes online, am I going to get less financial aid?
That's a great question, Victor. And at this point, no. All of our students we scheduled them, you're already scheduled full-time, so you're going to receive your full-time financial aid for being in school. But it's very important to keep up your eligibility. And in other words, that means you must continue to get your instruction online. You got to be participating. You've got to be making sure you're getting your assignments done. You've got to make sure that you're participating in the discussion questions and those labs. That participation component is still needed to continue to receive your financial aid. Now, it's not going to reduce your financial aid because you're totally going online. A lot of times people think they're going to get less financial aid because they don't have that. There's another housing component that the students usually have, but for our online students right now, your tuition, your financial aid will not be less. Everything will stay the same currently right now as it is. So your current financial aid eligibility will not be affected. But again, it's very important. Stay encouraged. Keep going to class every day. Make sure you're getting those assignments and getting everything done so you can continue to receive your financial aid as we go into the next terms and what happens within the future.
Right, and it's good to know also that this crisis, this health crisis, is changing every day. It's very fluid, the information. So by the time we post this in our YouTube channel, hopefully things continue to be the way they're going, where we could offer financial aid. But I'm sure
Right.
that if something changes, we will let everybody know. I don't think that's going to be
Course.
the case.
You know,
But
we're getting guidance out from the department every day on how we can better service our students. You know, and we're constantly tracking that. I mean, I'm constantly tracking on an hourly basis
good.
to find out what's news come out, what can, you know, what are we going to be doing to help our students, you know, things like that. So, you know, we have a close pulse on it, and we are watching it very carefully. And of course, you know, seeing what we can do to implement those changes and help our students out as quickly as possible.
Well, thank you for doing that, Danielle. There's another question. How do I contact my school's financial aid office if there's no school right now? I mean, we can't go to the school. How do we contact financial aid?
We can still be contacted through the same relative means that we've always been able to contact. You can contact the school. We have our front desk folks who are still available. They can get those calls over to the FA staff. A lot of you know a lot of the ladies in FA, so you can contact them directly. They have their numbers, and they're on all day long. So we're waiting to hear from you folks. Also, email address. You have all of our FA staff email addresses, or you can email the school, and they will make sure that that information gets to the financial aid office. And also, you can visit any of our social media platforms, leave a message there, or if you have a question, that information can get directed us by our marketing team, and we can go ahead and make sure that we get back to you folks as soon as possible.
There you have it. So, and then also we're going to include all that information on the, you know, below, in the links below. You're going to have a lot of information, so that way you don't feel like you don't have that communication between Western Tech and yourselves. So we're going to be able to provide you with that. Another one, very good question. What is and how will the student loan relief affect me? You know, what is the student loan relief?
Okay, well, the student loan relief, as many you may or may not know, our current administration had signed into law the CARES Act. And in part of that CARES Act included student loan relief for student loan borrowers. So what that means, Victor, is that any student or person, doesn't even have to be a student anymore, any person that currently has a federal student loan that is owned by the Department of Education, in other words, you took out federal student loans to go to school, right now will be receiving what we call an administrative forbearance. In other words, the department right now is stopping all collections of payments, so you do not have to make your monthly payments if you are in a repayment status. Everyone's interest on a federally held student loan is currently at 0 now, so there's no interest accumulating on those loans right now, okay? That went into effect March 13th, and that's in effect through September 30th of this year, 2020. So essentially, you're looking at a 6-month time frame for this. So right now, you don't have to make any payments on your student loans. The interest on your student loans are not accruing any interest at this particular time. So which is great for our students. So, you know, I applaud the administration for looking for ways to relieve some financial burden on our students, and allowing, you know, that to happen. I think a lot of students will see that here rather quickly if they're not already seeing it. So this is something that was automatically done and instantaneous. So this is a win-win for our federal student loan borrowers, you know, to help relieve that administrative and financial burden right now of having to worry about making student payments or having that interest accrue on your loans while you're still attending school at this time.
Well, I think that's also very great. I agree with what our administration is doing to help, you know, and this is affecting everybody. So whatever our government can do to help, I think this is a great opportunity. And there you have it. Now we all know what's going on in the back end. If you didn't know, especially you have student loans right now, like Danielle said, you don't have to worry about it for right now. But, you know, it's something that helps everybody. Another question, Danielle, that we have, it says, if my loans are owned by the Department of Education, do I need to do anything for the interest on my loans to be waived?
No, this is automatic. So the administration has taken the liberty of making this automatic. So the Department of Education has already gotten with their service lenders. Those are the people that handle all the direct loans,
Hmm.
and those servicers are automatically just putting it into their system and getting those zero interest on all their federally held student loans. So there's nothing that the student needs to do. If you have any questions or you need more clarification, please, you can reach out to your loan servicer. And if you don't know who that is, get a message to us here at FA. We will get you in touch with your loan servicer or provide you with that contact information should you have any further questions or anything that you think may rise up in your specific case. We'll be more than happy to answer or help facilitate those questions over to the servicer for you.
Absolutely. Know that Western Tech is here to assist you, to help you. That's the reason why we're putting all these together, so that way you can find out, how is it that you need help. One of the main things that we always ask our students is for you all to communicate with us and let us know what's the problem. We will always try to find a solution or try to guide you in that aspect. I think all these questions are very important because financial aid is something that it's available for the people that qualify, of course, but it's some sort of help for the students to continue with their education. And there's many different ways in which you can do that. And financial aid here at Western Tech is able to provide you with all that. And so don't hesitate and contact them, because they are the ones that know exactly what's going on. Once again, thank you, Danielle, for finding all this information for us, for all these questions. One last question, if you don't mind, and I think this one, I don't know. Hopefully, my thoughts are good, but
Yes.
are positive. But
Okay.
with all these things that are happening, it's crazy. Question number 7 says, can I get more financial aid due to the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic? I don't
I knew
know.
that was the question coming. Yeah. Victor, the answer to that question is we are working on that. Um, we do have some information that did come down the pike. We do have some possible emergency relief funds, additional federal funds, and possibly state funds that we at Western Tech can possibly get our hands onto. With that, we will be able to award additional grant aid to our students. And this is the caveat, it's not just those who are eligible for Title IV, but those who are not also eligible for Title IV that may have been severely affected by the corona pandemic. And so here at Western Tech, we are looking at our process to identify those individuals. Of course, there's going to be, we're going to be looking at on a case-by-case basis for everyone. We'll be looking at our most affected and, kind of categorizing those individuals. And of course, yes, we're looking to help our students get that additional grant aid that they'll need, not just for covering tuition and fees, but, maybe to help cover or help alleviate some financial, burdens. I know people are out there, they're experiencing some, hardships right now. So we're looking to help our students as much as possible. More to come on that. Like I said, when it comes to money, especially with the federal government, it all kind of trickles down. But that's something that I'm monitoring hourly to see when new guidance is coming out, what we can do, what Western Tech has to do to help get us our hands on some of that federal aid so we can help our students. And we're going to get it. We're going to try and help you all as much as we can, but there is some additional help coming.
Great to know. There you have it. That question, when I saw it, I was like, I don't think so. But now we know that something is in the works.
Yeah.
So you never know, right? And, Danielle, these are times where, we're all need to be more understanding and be,
Right.
more together with our families, finding out how is it that we can become better, especially in our city of El Paso, right? We have great talent in our community from many different areas, many different cities that are, in our borders. And we're just here to try to help. And with that, Danielle, do you have any special message for our students, for our community, regarding what's happening right now?
Continue to follow the stay home, stay safe. I know we're away from each other, but the quicker we can get a handle on this and get it ringed in, the quicker we will be together again. Continue, stay encouraged, continue to do your studies, continue to participate in class. If I know some of you may be experiencing hardships, but stay the course, folks. Your training will pay off in the end. As you can see, this pandemic has left us shortage of skilled people. We need your great skills, and you're receiving that through your instruction and through your training at Western Technical College. So you're already on the right path and you're already set up in the right spot. Continue the course. And we at Western Tech will try to help you meet those challenges that you're having. But we look forward to seeing you all soon. I encourage you to stay safe and stay well.
There you have it, guys. So thank you so much, Danielle, for the information. As you know, we're going to put her email address below also, and some important resources that she was able to provide for all of us on the links below. Thank you so much, Danielle. I appreciate it. Stay safe, and hopefully we'll see you soon working there.
We'll see you soon. It's been great seeing you all. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Now we also have, especially very important for all of our military, she is our certifying VA official, important for all our military and also our veterans. Her name is Miss Christina Rivera. Hey, there she is, Christy.
Hey, Victor, how are you?
I'm doing well, Christy. As you know, we're all going through this. Thank you so much for joining us today. What is it that you do at Western Tech? What is exactly a VA certifying official? How does that work? And tell us more about what you do at Western Tech, please.
Yes, I've been at Western Tech now going on 6 years. I do serve as a VA liaison between, of course, our campus and the VA, meaning I do all the certifications for our veterans, not only for our veterans, but actually any family member or dependents that are using any kind of educational benefits. So I go in there and I make sure that they're getting paid, that the school is getting paid, their certifications are being done, and of course, keeping up with our veterans, any questions that they may have, starting from applying to their benefits, their housing, any type of questions that they may have while they're going to school there with us at Western.
Well, that's awesome, because that's a very important bridge. Like you're saying, you're the bridge between the military and our school and our students, so that way they can be able to join our school and with all the questions that they may have. And we do have also other questions regarding all our veterans, our military, and I hope you're able to answer some of those questions. And one of them, I've been listening to this on the news. I guess it's a bill from the Senate. It's Bill 3503. I think that was signed into law on March 21st. Tell us, what is that Bill 3503?
Most definitely, Victor. And we have been keeping up with all the information that VA has brought down to us, making sure that, our students are taken care of, and making sure that we're trying to answer as many questions as we can. That bill that was signed March 21st pretty much lets the schools, when you have a program that is already approved, and it is what we call a residential program. In other words, where they have to attend in campus, they're letting us transition to online due to, of course, the health emergencies, the stay-at-home, stay-safe emergencies. So now our students won't have to worry about, okay, what happens to my benefits now that I'm going strictly online versus having to go to class. So this law gives us that opportunity to transition our class to online versus that brick and mortar that we have.
Well, that's great, because as you all know, if you're trying to find out information about Western Tech, making a decision to join Western Tech to continue with your education, Western Tech is, has most of the classes on a delivery method of hands-on and online, right? And now, because what's going on, all of the universities, the independent school districts, the colleges, we have to, do it online. And so this bill, as you said, gives them the opportunity to continue with the online education and with the benefits, right?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. The next one would be, and this is a good question too. All of these are great. This one is related to the housing payments that the veterans get, Miss Christie. And this one it's saying, what happens to my housing payments or allowance has this been affected because of the COVID-19?
No, fortunately, it hasn't. For all my veterans using your Chapter 33 post 9/11, your housing allowance will remain the same, as well as all my other chapters. Any allowance that you are receiving from your educational benefits will remain the same. If you are a full-time student, they will remain at a full-time rate, and they will remain as a resident rate as well. So, thank goodness, nothing of that is going to change. We don't foresee any changes in that. So that's great
Good,
news for our veterans.
good information. Very good. Well, as you all know, we were having a great conversation with Christy, and all of a sudden we lost connection. But it's happening right now, and this is where I'm telling you that we all have to be very understanding. Um, People are, using a lot of technology right now. I could just imagine the internet companies and the telecommunication companies, are trying to help as much as we can. But we got you back, Christy. Thank you for joining us once more. And as we were saying, we were in the middle of the question, so I'm going to repeat that question so that way you can help us. And it says, will there be any impact on tuition and fee payments now that the classes are online?
Thank you, Victor. And again, I apologize. The the quirks of working from home. There'll be no change in tuition and fees. Let me just, like Ms. Danielle said, as long as our students are continuing, to log on to do the work that they need to do offline, nothing will change. The tuition that's coming to the school, nothing will change. Thank goodness through that bill, we're able to keep everything the same. And so
All right.
no big impact on that as well.
Great. So there you have it. There's no change in that. And then question number 3, and remember, we're taking over right now. We're going over with our VA certifying official, Ms. Christina Rivera, for those that are, for some reason, just joining in this particular, section of the recording here. And we're answering, or she's trying to answer, of course, questions related to our military and our veterans. Question number 3, Christy, it says, if a student becomes ill due to COVID-19 and cannot continue training while the college continues to offer course training, what happens?
First of all, we will offer the student what we call a leave of absence. Of course, God forbid that any of our students fall in this situation, but if in case they do, they can always take what we call a leave of absence. Worst case scenario, the student cannot return to the class. It's going to take a little bit longer and they decide that they need to drop. If that is the case, they can go ahead and drop, and we will let VA know that it's due to mitigating circumstances because of the COVID-19. That will offer some resolution with VA. So definitely there is that option for them. Again, we hope that definitely this doesn't happen to any of our students, that everybody stays safe out there. But if worse comes to worse, we can offer either the leave of absence, or if they must drop, we can definitely notify the VA that it is mitigating circumstances due to COVID-19.
Absolutely. As long as they know, and that is because of what's happening right now. I'm sure, like any other organizations and institutions and government agencies, they're trying to provide with that relief for our students, or if the student in any case has to drop because of COVID-19. Good to know on that one. Another question that came up during the week here was, what happens when an approved certificate program, and as you all know, the certificate programs are the programs that are not associate degrees or are bachelor's degrees. Okay, those are the certificate programs. So this question is in regards to those. What happens when an approved certificate program that is normally residential at the school moves to online? For example, the welding program, or maybe the massage therapy program.
Yes, and due to this bill that was passed, we are able to offer now online courses for those programs, such as welding and massage therapy. I know that our welders are being set up with the technology that they are going to need in order to continue their classes online. Once, everything gets back to normal, once we're able to have our students back, then we go back onto our hands-on. Again, their benefits will not be affected as long as, they do what they need to do online. Their assignments, clock in attendance. As long as they're clocking in attendance, they'll be okay. So for us, changing from those hands-on to online, we can make that a smooth transition. And again, we are trying to get all the technology that our welders or our other certificate programs need in order to get that accomplished for them.
That's very good news, because as you all know, I mean, we're all having to change and adapt to all these changes. Western Tech is not the only educational institution that, is going over these changes at all. And so we're trying to, go over the rules and the regulations that all these independent agencies are telling us to do and to follow, so that way you, the students, and the people that are interested in coming to Western Tech during these particular times and enroll, you're going to be able to, to start your classes and your courses and restart them again. That's very good to know when it comes to for the financial aid purposes, and also for the VA purpose, that we're able to continue with that help. And I think it's really good for the students to communicate with us with any other circumstances. Right, Christy?
Yes, most definitely. Should you have any additional questions, maybe something that maybe I didn't answer on this, please feel free to reach out to me. You know what I mean? We will be posting, again, my information either via email or phone. We are connected from our phones from school directly to us. Even though we're working from home, we're trying, to keep up with, again, any changes that there may be in the VA or any questions that they may have. They can definitely reach out to me via email or by phone, and I'm sure Victor's going to link that information for you all as well.
Absolutely. We're going to have all the information, all the links below. Remember, it's always important for you to go and click on those links, and because they are resources for you to get the information directly from the source, right? In this case, the Financial Aid Department of Education, and also, the VA department, of course. Christy, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity of having you here today. And as you know, we're going on this together, trying to stay home, trying to be as productive as we can, and as much helpful as we can be for all of our students. Any message that you have out there for the community of El Paso, for the community of our students and our alumni?
Yes, I am. I have very much faith that this too shall pass. We just definitely have to stay strong in all this. And yes, this is something new for all of us. But again, we are all adapting. And I want everybody to know that, whatever we can help with, please to give us a call, to email us any questions that they may have. To my veterans out there, I know this is a time of uncertainty and sometimes anxiety. There is resources, there is phone numbers that we can call in case we're feeling any kind of anxiety, any kind of, uncertainty. Definitely, we will link them up there in our resources. If not, you can always reach out to me. I'm readily available, again, via email or phone number. But this too shall pass, and I hope and pray to see you all soon. Thank you, Victor, so much.
All the links will be down below. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the video, and click on the little bell, so that way you can continue to get notifications when we upload the next YouTube video. Once again, I want to thank you on behalf of Western Technical College for joining us today. If you have any additional questions, you always know you can reach out to us in our westerntech.edu webpage and all of our social platforms. And please, if you're able to stay home, stay home. And, we'll see you very soon at Western Tech doing hands-on education here with the hashtag, the only one, Western Technical College. We'll see you soon.